Okay, so I've kind of been talking about doing a YouTube channel for a while. And I was going to share everything throughout my pregnancy and things like that, but I had so much other stuff going on, it just kind of never really worked out. So I'm going to try now, even though I'm really awkward at talking to myself. So someone said that they wanted me to share my entire journey, well, everything that I'm willing to share, and I think we'll just go ahead and start with that. My beginning of my pregnancy. When I first found out I was pregnant, I kind of knew. Before I ever took a pregnancy test or anything, I kind of knew. Because I hadn't had my period, and I was kind of worried about it. But then at the same time, I was like, well, I mean, safe sex, so I can't be pregnant. But my periods are always really off and whack anyway, so I wasn't really 100% sure. So me and my grandma went and bought a pregnancy test, and I took it, and it was positive, and I, of course, was really shocked. And my first feeling was really scared. I was terrified. And my grandma just held me, and she's like, we're going to get through this, it's going to be okay, and everything was going to be fine, and we were, going to do everything that we could to give Ainslie the best that she could have. And then when my dad found out, that was the scariest part, was telling my dad. But actually, it was really not that bad when my dad found out. He was very understanding. My mom had me when she was 18. So my dad was really understanding. And he made me breakfast, and we just kind of talked about it and stuff like that. So he's been really supportive the whole time, and he's really good with Ainslie. My entire family has been there since Ainslie's been born, but during my pregnancy, a lot of my family was very judgmental, and some of them wouldn't even talk to me for the longest time. So that was a really big struggle for me, because my aunt was 16 and pregnant. And out of everyone, I expected her to be there for me the most, and she wasn't. She would not talk to me at all. She was mad. She didn't want anything to do with me. Didn't want to talk about it. My mom found out. She was really shocked and nervous, and she just didn't want me to have to go through the same thing that she went through as a teenage mom and everything. So she was just kind of upset at first, but she got over it really fast, and she's been there for me through my pregnancy. And I'm sure if you followed me on my old account, then you saw everything that me and my mom went through. And it was a really hard time for me, because me and my mom have always been best friends. And for us to fight like that, that was really hard on me. And I felt really lost without my mom. And so after telling everyone that I was pregnant and dealing with all of the initial shock and everything like that, my pregnancy went really smooth. Everything went great. Until my delivery, everything went great. I was in the hospital for 6 days. I went in on a Monday, and I left on a Saturday night. I went to my doctor's appointment on Monday, and she was like, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and check you really quick, and then we're going to send you to the hospital. So I was like, okay, but you haven't even checked me yet. But she was like, well, I can't let you be pregnant any longer. And I was like, oh, okay. So we go there to the hospital. I'm 1 centimeter dilated, 70% thinned out. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're going to put some Cervidil in and then see what that does. And if not start anything, then we're going to have to go ahead and put you on Pitocin tomorrow. So I did the Cervidil and ended up making my contractions come, which was good, but they would not stop. So they ended up having to stop my contractions. And then the next day, they were going to put me on the Pitocin, but they never started the Pitocin because my water ended up breaking and I started going into labor on my own. So everything went good after that, and then I started pushing, like getting her in position, 10 centimeters dilated. Everything was great, and they tried to lift me over to my left side. They were trying to get her head adjusted, and they lifted me over to like kind of tilt me, like slant me onto my left side, and Ainsley rolled onto her cord, and all of a sudden her heartbeat stopped. So I like freaked out. I started crying. I didn't know what was going on. My doctor was just like, I need help in here, and she was pressing the emergency button, and a couple of people came in, and then she ran out to the hallway, and she was like, I need help in here. So I was like freaking out, crying, because I had the epidural. I couldn't feel my legs, my stomach, my anything at that point. And here I am getting flipped over, and I have all these doctors and nurses in my room trying to flip me over and rush me out of the room, and I don't even know what's going on, and all I know is that my baby's heart's not beating, and I'm freaking out because I don't know what's wrong. And then all of a sudden they get me into the C-section room, and all of a sudden Ainsley's heartbeat picks up a little bit after they had me laying down and everything, and they had to restrain me because I was shaking so bad. And then before they actually got done with the C-section, during my C-section I started throwing up, so I had to tilt my head to the side and put this stuff under my nose to make me breathe it in so I wouldn't be nauseous anymore. And I was crying the whole time, and then I didn't see Ainslie after they took her out. She started crying when they took her out, but I didn't see her for like an hour and a half after she was born. They had already done everything before I even got to the room because I had to be sewn up. So that was kind of a traumatic experience for me. It was a lot scarier than I really ever let on Instagram. It was very traumatic for me and my family that was in the room with me at the time because nobody got a warning. Let's see. Since my delivery, I have not struggled with anything. I did stop breastfeeding the day she turned a month old because of all the packing and all the hectic things going on in my life right now. I have a lot of decisions I have to make, and very soon, actually within a couple of weeks. So you guys will all get to see a lot of changes. If you follow me on Instagram, then you'll be able to all see the kind of changes that I'm going to have to go through. And if you follow my new Instagram, then you know one of the things that I'm going through right now is talking to somebody and introducing him into mine and Ainsley's life as a family. We're taking things slow. We're happy, but we're not making any kind of labels. I'm not calling him my boyfriend necessarily, but he's mine. I'm not worried about him being with anybody else, and he's not worried about me being with anybody else. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to move. Obviously, I don't know how many of you know, but I live in Florida currently. I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks, but my grandmother is moving to Virginia, and I'm supposed to be moving with her as of May 2nd. But I'm also having second thoughts about it now, so I've been talking to my dad, and I think I'm going to stay with my dad. I'm not really sure how everything's going to pan out yet, so everyone's just going to have to bear with me on some of that. Another thing that I want to talk about, because I know people probably don't comment much about it on my Instagram, but I know that some of you are probably really curious about everything that happened between me and Dustin. Some people are just now finding out that me and Dustin broke up. Me and Dustin dated for over a year, and everything was really intense with Dustin. Like, everything was just like a whirlwind thing. Neither one of us said that we wanted a relationship when we first met each other. we're like, I don't want a relationship. I don't want anything out of this. I just want to be friends and hang out and whatever. And then we fell for each other. I still miss Dustin a lot. I worry about him. I don't know where he's at right now, so I honestly can't give anyone much information about what Dustin's doing in his life right now. I haven't talked to him since April 2nd, I think it was. So, I mean, I don't know where he's at, what he's doing, if he's okay, if he's not okay. As soon as I know something, I'll try to update you guys if you want me to, but I'm not really sure how everything's going to pan out. But like I said, like Dustin and I had a very intense relationship. I never thought it was going to end, and neither did he. But a lot of things happened in Dustin's life, and it wasn't a family scene. It was nothing that Dustin could help. Dustin was dealt a really, really hard life. And he hasn't had it easy at all. And I worry about him a lot. And I'm going to cry. But I do. I really and truly just want him to be happy and for him to be okay. Dustin is one of the strongest people that I've ever met in my life. And to see him cry and to watch his heart break right in front of me. And for him to tell me that no matter what happens, he wants me to tell Ainslie about him and how much he loves her. It really tears me apart. I'm gonna feel really embarrassed posting this so everyone can watch me cry, but it's a really, really hard thing for me to talk about. I want everyone to feel like they can relate, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect, and a lot of people tell me that I'm an inspiration. But I'm just a teen mom. Like, I try my hardest to do the best thing for my daughter. I have a lot of supportive people in my life, and I'm finally getting to a point where I'm happy, and everything feels like it's going to work out. I've had a lot of hardships through my pregnancy. I've had a lot of very great things happen to me during my pregnancy. And I've had great things happen to me now that she's born. And, you know, I get to be with my daughter every single day. And that's a good feeling to know that I brought her here. That she's here because I made that choice to keep her. I could never imagine killing a baby. I don't care about people's views on abortion. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying my personal opinion. I could not kill a living thing. I don't hunt. I don't do anything where I have to kill an animal. Or, you know, I can... no. But, another thing would be, you know, adoption. That wasn't really an option for me either. I wasn't going to carry a baby in my belly for 9 months, go through everything, all the judgment, all the hate, all the rude people, all of those things just for me to give her away. So I didn't really have any other option for my moral being. I was like, that's my daughter. I made her. I'm going to step up and take the responsibility for her and do the best that I can to give her a good life. So that's what I'm doing. Everything that I do from now on, all my decisions will be based on my daughter. I am not a perfect person. I have made so many mistakes in my life. I'll make a video eventually, of some of the more fine details of things I left out in this video. About all the trials and tribulations and things like that. I just kind of wanted to get my first video out there and get the gist of everything. And just kind of, start everything off with a little bit of information. But if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Kayla's Dope. I'll leave it in the description below. And if you are following me on Instagram, keep following me. And I love you guys. And I hope that now that I'm going to kind of get more personal with you guys, that we can interact more and make my Instagram more fun. And if any of you need anything, or if you ever need to talk to somebody, I'm here. And I promise you, nothing that you're going through in your life, whether it's a mistake you've made, whether it's something you're going through, that I have not been through something similar. I've had to grow up a lot. Even before I was pregnant, I was a very much like an adult at that point. If you ever need anything, anyone to talk to, I promise it'll stay confidential. We'll talk about it, and I'll do whatever I can to help you, okay?